और ऑक्सीजन से जुड़ी जो समस्याएं हैं वो केवल गोवा तक सीमित नहीं है, लगभग हर राज्य इस समय इसकी चपेट में है। और अगर बात करें दक्षिण भारत की तो खासकर ये समस्या देखने को मिल रही है बेंगलुरु में और तमिलनाडु के कुछ जिलों में। छोटे और जो मिड लेवल के प्राइवेट अस्पताल हैं वहां पर मेडिकल ऑक्सीजन की भारी किल्लत देखने को मिल रही है। बेंगलुरु के अस्पतालों का दावा है कि ऑक्सीजन को लेकर उनकी मांग को लगातार नजरअंदाज किया जा रहा है। वहीं तमिलनाडु में भी अस्पतालों को ऑक्सीजन के लिए लंबा इंतजार करना पड़ रहा है। तमिलनाडु में सरकारी और बड़े प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स को प्राथमिकता से ऑक्सीजन भेजी जा रही है, ऐसा भी दावा किया जा रहा है। चलिए सबसे पहले बात कर लेते हैं बेंगलुरु की कि वहाँ पर किस तरीके से ऑक्सीजन संकट गहराता जा रहा है। लगातार ये एक ऐसा महानगर है जहाँ पर कोविड का ग्राफ तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ रहा है और इस बीच बेंगलुरु के छोटे और मध्य स्तरीय अस्पतालों का कहना है कि उनकी ऑक्सीजन की मांग को लगातार दरनिकार किया जा रहा है। हालांकि बड़े अस्पतालों में ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई पूरी तरीके से जारी है। शहर में छोटे अस्पताल चलाने वाले लोगों ने पक्षपात का भी आरोप लगाया है। मेरा नाव ने एक खास बातचीत के दौरान इन्होंने कहा कि ऑक्सीजन शॉर्टेज के चलते वो लोग जिंदगियों को बचा पाने में असमर्थ हैं।
What I see as a managing director of my own hospital is it is still catastrophic to a lot of extent. There has not been much difference at all. Even today at this point of time, my people are waiting there for the last 8 to 10 hours to fill cylinders, jumbo cylinders. Now, as I was telling last time that all the industrial things should be cut off and given, we are on something like, probably about 50 to 60% short of supply in Bangalore alone. I don't know about the rest of the part of Karnataka, but I know what is happening in Bangalore. Most of the corporate hospitals are, being given. I think these smaller hospitals or the mediocre hospitals are very highly affected is what I can see. And when I talk to my friends and colleagues from different institutes, I find this is truth. We pay 3 times or 4 times more from these people to get these cylinders. And every time they give us reasons, all sorts of reasons for them to not give these cylinders. But to my surprise, what shocks me is how do the big hospitals get it? And why are the small hospitals, are we less compared to them in saving lives?
Regular suppliers are only supplying about 30% of this. We are still short of another 70% oxygen, which we are sourcing it from multiple agencies on a day-to-day basis. So most of the times, these other fringe suppliers, if they fail to turn up, then we have to raise an SOS. In the last 1 month, almost about 7 to 8 times in the night, we have raised an SOS and some supplies have rushed in. Otherwise, these 60 patients who are very critical and they are on high flow oxygen, we would have lost them. We need extra cylinders. Actually, usually at least 1 cylinder should be as a standby always, but that's never happening. We are always on the run and we are always using the last bit of the cylinder available. And when it is just about to empty, the suppliers are running in to fill it up. And it's a very dangerous situation. It puts a lot of stress on the patients, physicians, and even the hospital administration.
Initially, I had a problem once wherein I was forced to shift my patients out because of lack of oxygen. I had to shift out 8 patients from my ICU in the last moment because there was a severe shortage of oxygen in my hospital. And again, 4 days ago, again, I was in the same situation, wherein in the next half an hour, if I had not got oxygen, I would have lost almost 32 patients. That was the scenario that I'm in. Now, presently also, my oxygen, I run on an hour-to-hour basis, I keep a track of it. Because if the next 2 to 3 hours I don't get oxygen, I will run out of oxygen. My daily requirement is around 2.5 tons of liquid oxygen. And I am presently running at around 1.2 to 1.5 tons. The other 1 ton which I need to run my full ICU, I'm not getting.
Have you raised this issue with the government?
The issue has been raised right from the CM's office to the health minister, to the minister in charge of oxygen, to the MP and to the MLA of the region. Everybody were aware of it, and everybody had contacted me after I raised the issue. They said that they will settle it and they will ensure that I will get sufficient oxygen. But because of good
But the
cooperation,
scenarios you haven't really got the sufficient oxygen.
yes.
चलिए इस खबर पर और जानकारी लेकर हमारी संवाददाता श्रीजा इस समय बेंगलुरु से हमारे साथ लाइव जुड़ रही हैं। श्रीजा, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, फ्रॉम these conversations, two big major points that are emerging is that first, the hospitals are alleging that they are facing major bias when it comes to oxygen allocation, and second big allegation that they are making is that their repeated SOS regarding oxygen shortage are being ignored, and also one of the hospitals were also saying that they approached the government, they highlighted the issue, but nothing was done.
There are three different things to be looked at in this particular story. The first thing is, as per the direction of the Karnataka High Court and also the Supreme Court, it does talk about that the center should provide nearly 1,200 metric tons of oxygen per day. But as of now, what we understand is that the amount of oxygen the state receives is anywhere between 965 to 1,015 metric tons. Now that varies on a daily basis. Also, the Karnataka government did suggest by saying that by May 15, the state will require. What's also important to understand at this point in time is that there is a bias, like you pointed out. Yes, your small and mid hospitals, the medium-sized hospitals, they are continuously raising SOS and also facing issues with regard to oxygen shortage. Now, the questions raised by the doctors and also the chairman of various mid and medium-sized and small hospitals is actually valid. Also, what's important to understand why exactly your medium-sized and small hospitals, they keep running out of oxygen is that they clearly do not have an infrastructure where they can store oxygen. So because of which, due to the pandemic, and there is also a surge in cases, especially those ICU patients who require oxygen on a daily basis, and especially every minute that we're talking about, these mid-sized hospitals and small hospitals will keep running out of oxygen, and they keep needing, especially oxygen cylinders. So that is where the problem lies. Now, as far as your big hospitals, the big corporate hospitals are concerned, they already have a storage capacity, and it's a very rare scenario you will come across where the big corporate hospitals raising an SOS. So the problem lies over here in the government. When the government has realized, yes, they do not have the infrastructure, they cannot store the oxygen, there is something called the micromanagement of the oxygen, which the government has not done yet. Every day, the hospital authorities raise an indent talking about what is the availability of oxygen and consumption of oxygen by the patients admitted in that particular respective hospital. But we understand, speaking to these doctors, not a single day over the last 1 month or so, despite raising 7 to 8 SOS, not once have these officials who have been in charge of oxygen, ensuring that the supply is being given to the hospitals, have not checked the availability or consumption of oxygen in these hospitals.
Right, Srija, thank you for sharing all those details.